One channel, different shows, everything entertaining. Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Alright, Deadheads, I thought this episode was just okay. There really wasn't as much build-up leading into the mid-season finale as I thought there was going to be. And I do want to say two things real quick. I do feel that fans who support this show in buying merchandise, watching the show, interacting, even trending it on Twitter, if you're an active fan of the show, you deserve an opinion. And the second thing, taking a quick look at social media, there's a lot of sluts who watch this show because the second two people are alone together on screen. They are going to start Let's Talk. The Walking Dead 507 crossed. Alright, Deadheads, the shippers can chill, because I was just joking. Moving right along, one of the biggest inconsistencies that bothered me tremendously with this episode, and a different one, was the makeup. Beth, it was a miracle that her bruises were no longer on her face. At the end of Slabtown, we saw that she was not only busted in the top of her head, but she also had a lot of bruising around her eye, cheek area. It was enough to last at least a week, and this was probably just a day later, and it's all gone. From what I saw, I don't remember her bruising being there. Carol was the same. Carol's episode, she has a busted lip, and then now the new episode, I don't see the busted lip there. Her lip is literally split. You know, she is beat up, and she has bruising that doesn't match. Those little issues get to me. And I think it is safe to say we are still feeling the presence of the governor in this season. Because of the governor and his impact on the show, we do not have another villain right now. We are just dealing with messed up survivors. Which leads me into my disappointment for this episode. I thought it was going to be a bigger build-up. I was actually surprised that we got to see more of Abraham's group than I thought we needed to. I don't think we needed to see them fish, and what the fuck did she find, a yo-yo or something in a backpack? That was the big deal. One of the most important scenes we needed to find out what was happening with Abraham's group was Abraham no longer wants to die. You know, he was pulling his little temper tantrum. He got in Rosita's face. Maggie, loved her in this episode. She pulled some badass shit. And you could tell he's processing it in his head like, you know what? I don't have to kill myself. She can kill... Wait a minute. I don't think I want to die. You know what I mean? And he sat his ass back down. And then later he kind of confirmed it when he was talking with Maggie. I thought I wanted you to kill me, but I want to live. And I mean, as useless as Rosita is, she probably played a little bit of a factor in why he wants to live. I don't believe they're in love, but who doesn't like a nice piece of... Moving on. Now, I'm probably just reading into some of the symbolism. I have been known to read into things a little too well, but if you noticed, they had Abraham's injured hand grabbing for the water. I know it's a huge rumor that Abraham has walker blood in his cut, and that's why they keep showing the hand. It's gonna fucking morph into the tyrant beast monster nemesis guy from Resident Evil, and he's just gonna kill everybody. But I just think that they showed his hand. That is because water represents life, does it not? I mean, everything on this earth lives because of water, pretty much, you know? It grows grass, it grows trees, it grows nature. They had him pick up the water that gives life, and he used his wounded hand that had all his wounds, both literal wound and a figurative wound. You know, the wound that was deep inside his soul, just at the time that he wanted life. He's accepting life now. So symbolically, he's accepting the water, and he's going to drink the water, meaning he's going to drink life, meaning he wants to live and he doesn't want to die, because previously he wanted to die. He had nothing to live for. I think I totally could have worded that better. However, you get what I'm saying. That was probably the biggest and most important scene we needed out of Abraham's group. I don't need to see them fishing and all of that. And then secondly, Eugene wakes up. That's pretty much it. Move on from there. Now we move on to the church, and part of me thought the preacher was just running away because he was being a bitch, you know? But then I was thinking, okay, you know, he's going through the floorboards because he feels like an invaded country, you know? His church is a country, and he's been invaded. And not only did they invade him, but they are ripping apart his sanctuary, the holy place. This is God's roof. I mean, at first he tried to clean up the blood on the floor, and maybe that didn't work for him, so now he's sneaking out after they've... Damn, I cannot think of the word I'm looking for. They violated, you know, the sanctity of God or whatever. But So he leaves because he fears these people. He don't agree with these people. However, they did show a sneak peek, and I don't ever like talking about the next episode in the review because I just want to focus on what they showed us, and I feel like that's kind of cheating. However, I'm going to pull the cheat card here. When he escapes, he steps on a nail. Not really sure of the symbolism, but I went deep with Abraham's symbolism in the water, so I'm going to skip the symbolism on the nail for now. All we can say is the moment Abraham leaves the church, shit went wrong. He should have turned around, crawled back up the floor floorboards. Now he goes into the woods, and I just want to say, this was one awesome Walker body slam. One of the best, you know? So he sees a cross, he can't go through with it, and I feel, like I said, they showed the previews of him at the church, and he sees Bob's foot on the grill. And this is in the teaser they showed for the next episode. Then I thought, you know what? That's what he's doing. He didn't just accidentally go to this church. He's not just wandering around the woods by himself. He's investigating these sons of bitches to see if they're actually telling the truth. He could have just left the church and said, you know, fuck this, I'm out. No, he wanted to sneak under the floorboards. He wants to go find out if Bob is telling the truth, because Gabriel knows where the school is. Gabriel heard everything that Bob was saying. He knows this area. I have a really good idea what they're doing with Father Gabriel in that storyline, and I truly believe that even though that is moving at a snail's pace right now, there is a long-term purpose. There is a payoff. He didn't go to that school just for nothing. Something's going to happen that's going to have big ramifications for the other survivors. Now, Abraham's episode, I believe a lot of that was filler, and it actually makes me wonder why some of that was filler when they could have amplified more of the scenes within Rick and his group, added to more of that, and had more of a suspense, more conflict, drag it out a little more, you know, let a cop or two get away and have them hunt them down. Maybe they didn't have the time or the space, because it was pretty neat seeing the burnt out walkers, the melted walkers. That was probably so disgusting, but so cool. I love the work they're doing with the walkers. What is disappointing though is you start to feel like you're watching a movie set when you see a big set piece like that and the characters run off the set, you know, chasing the cops, and Daryl stays back on set. Because for me, what keeps me in this world is if we watch the characters run off the set, you know, into woods, up to a backyard, and it's continuous. I like that continuation. When we see characters round a corner onto a set, you know what I mean, like a set design or set piece, and then some characters leave, it feels like a play to me. So that kind of took me out of it, and I know that that's not gonna be the case with a lot of people viewing it. I just wish they would cut some of Abraham's scene and we would have watched some more of the cops who were able to run away, watch more of them being chased down. Even if it was just getting tackled, one of the survivors getting kicked in the face. I mean, make it just vicious. They're squirming, throwing a fit, Tyrese lugs a bitch over his shoulder, something that just, you know, add to that. Yeah, I think it would have helped out a lot more. So I don't have to tell you guys how really awesome that set design was, and Daryl ripping the fucking head off like a bowling ball. I think that's pretty much what everyone thought as soon as he popped his fingers in the eyeballs. However, I was like most people, oh shit, don't get your fingers bit. What are you doing, you know? Because he did stick his fingers in there. He finger popped him a little bit in the mouth, just once or twice. I like when they bring characters close to danger like that just a little bit, even if it doesn't happen. I would like to see more characters with thicker outfits surrounded by zombies and have a couple of them bite you on the shoulder, on the arm. You push them off. Maybe it's a little group, you know, you stab this one in the head, you get bit here, you stab this one. I mean, make it tough to get out of the herd, and finally you get out of the herd, you get back with your people, get your shirt and clothes off, and you have bruises where the teeth clamp down and they bruised your flesh, but they didn't actually break through any of the clothing. And I feel like if I make a zombie film, that's going to be in it. I mean, 100%. Bites are not going to be as easy like you're eating cotton candy. But anyway, Rick and the confrontation with the cops and taking them hostages. I would have loved to see even more of that. It really fleshed out the cops. I really feel that Dawn is probably the most interesting right now. It really makes you wonder though, who's the liar? Are the cops lying? Maybe Dawn isn't the big bad. Maybe her troops are actually the big bad. I was thinking, with the way that the episode worked out when Dawn said, you know what, you're gonna save her life, then you have the doctor saying, don't listen to Dawn, she's only doing that for herself. It's like, who the hell do you believe? So they are throwing in a bit of confusion there, because who are you gonna believe? This guy lied to you once and in turn made you kill a guy, you know what I'm saying? Or Dawn, who's helping you to heal Carol, someone you care about, but she just beat your ass 18 hours before, or however many hours before. She fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? So Beth is in a really weird place. And to me, Beth's character was a lot easier to digest in this episode than she probably has ever been. This was her shining moment. And if she shines just a little bit brighter in episode 8, she can really help to pull all the scenes together. Because it looks like Carol's probably going to be out of it for the majority of it. And no, I am not going to talk about Sasha and the stupid shit she did just because the guy's name was Bob. However, I do believe there's a redeeming quality within her stupidity. I think it adds something to the show and to Rick's character. I will talk more about that in my prediction video. So if you guys want to catch that, that is coming very shortly after this. I'm going to try to do them back to back. You know what? I didn't talk about this, and I do want to talk about this. I love this new Rick. Rick was not, and I see a lot of people saying, oh, he just wants to kill. He wants to kill. He wants to kill. I don't see Rick as just hungry to kill. I don't see that. I see Rick staring down this guy who's just trying to kill Daryl, and he's really looking at him thinking, you know what? I can kill you now and not have anything else to worry about. But if we take you hostage, you might be a problem. You might be hard to deal with. You might get somebody killed. That's what I think is going on in Rick's head. I think he looks at somebody and says, you might get one of us killed. You need to die right now. And that's when Daryl was like, listen, dude, just the more hostages we got, the better. Which honestly, it sounds good. If they are close as our group of survivors, it is better to keep them alive and give them all their people. Because if you kill one or two and then give them, 2 back, they will probably hunt you down. I know Rick would. Rick would probably hunt you down. Especially if it was someone he cared about, deeply. And to finish it off, yes, they should have went with Rick's plan from the beginning. If they would have just stormed the hospital, if something went bad, the people inside the hospital, the people who have the power to kill Beth and Carol, would have no clue why they tried to storm the hospital. They would think it was just some local hoods or local thugs trying to get their supplies, get their medicine, or whatever. Now with this method, you're going to say, hey, I have these hostages, give us our people, and they could come out and say, you know what, I don't really care for the people that you took as hostages. They could die for all I care. I do want more men, so I tell you what, they'll shoot Beth, throw her dead body off a bridge, and say, give us the rest of our people, or we're going to kill this one. That's simple. And I think Rick and them would have no choice. I think it's a stupid plan. Because if you find someone who is just not cooperating under any circumstances whatsoever, it's going to blow up in your face. Alright guys, that's all I have to say. I do want to let you know, I did 3 videos. What is Alexandria? What happens at Alexandria? And who is Negan? These are very important for apparently what is coming in the second half of Season 5. I encourage you, watch those, check them out, share them with as many people as possible. And the prediction video for the mid-season finale is coming up right behind this episode. I'll leave that here. You can click to that to get there. If you have anything else you want to say about this episode, share your opinions down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like it or don't like it. Bye-bye. And it's cold in here.
Subscribe now.